Hello and welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Rivals Unmuted. This is episode 2, and I'm joined by the lovely Egylou. And before anybody asks where Nen is, Egylou and Nen are both going to be my co-hosts for Rivals Unmuted. Unfortunately, Nen can only come in like once a month, and the goal is to have Egylou on, who is another content creator like me and Nen. So if you enjoy Yap content, if you enjoy people talking about the game, I would highly recommend going to Egylou's channel and giving him a sub, because like I said, if you like me, if you like Nen, you'll like Egylou. And Egylou, I kind of did the intro for you, but how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's I'm very excited to be on here.
Yeah, I've obviously, we've been friends for a while now, content creators in the space, mutuals, and I've always enjoyed what you do and what you talk about. And like I said, I tell my audience, I tell everybody, you should go watch them. I'm always commenting on your videos. I'm always super interested. So I'll say this, I'm gonna start off hot. I recently released a video talking about who needs nerfs going into season 7 of Marvel Rivals. And most people agreed with my list, but there was one hero on there that a lot of people got mad with. And I put him in the beginning of the video specifically because I wanted people to understand that this guy needs a nerf. I said Magneto needs a nerf. I'm going to leave it at that for right now. I didn't really explain kind of the nerfs. I'll talk about it later, but I essentially said that like we need to increase his bubble cooldown, or we got to decrease his survivability. Because in my mind, Magneto has been a top 3 tank in the game since release. And the common arguments that I've been seeing is that we don't need to nerf Magneto. We need to bring other tanks up. We also don't need to buff or nerf him. He's perfectly balanced. If we nerf Magneto, nobody's going to play him. So as a fellow mag player, because a lot of people don't know this, I am a Celestial mag player. You are a Celestial mag player. We're also friends with a top 500 mag player, Prezixo, who I'm going to blame this on, by the way, because that dude says when the game is better when mag is meta. I'm blaming Prezixo.
I think he deserves a lot of the blame for pushing this Magneto propaganda. That brother has 800 hours on Magneto. And honestly, Magneto has been very, very solid in the meta for like the entire time. And when they came out with that change, I'm not sure what season it was, but when they gave him that double bubble, separate cooldowns was absolutely wild. And it really took the skill gap out of Magneto, I would say. Having to choose whether you want to put a bubble on you or your support or whoever's getting ulted. Them separating them and giving him that buff was absolutely wicked. So I think Magneto definitely does need a little bit of an adjustment just to shake things up, because a lot of people are getting tired of the poke meta. They're getting tired of this. They're getting tired of that. And I think it all starts at Magneto, honestly.
Yeah, it's crazy because another argument I keep seeing is that like, oh, Magneto does really well into the poke meta. The only reason Magneto is good is because poke has been meta for so long. Bro, newsflash, Magneto is a poke tank. Like, he's got mag cannon, his autos reach a mile away, and like people are like, oh, brawl meta, like once we enter brawl, like mag is gonna be bad. No, bro, like the trifecta. For a lot of people, this is their first hero shooter, right? Egylou obviously have played other games. So like the whole thing is that poke beats brawl, brawl beats dive, dive beats poke, right? But the fact that people think like magically a brawl meta is going to destroy Magneto doesn't make sense, because he's the best facilitator in the game. He facilitates dive, he facilitates poke, and crazy thought, guys. If you bubble your brawl tank or your brawl DPS, what does that allow them to do? It allows them to brawl more. I don't know.
So the whole meta, like, it all starts with Magneto. I think a shake up to Magneto will cause like this ripple effect in the entire meta, and I think it'll change. He doesn't need to be gutted or anything like that, because you do need that tank. You do need that tank to be like, okay, this like old reliable, basically. Like whenever we're losing a game, shipping when we're playing, I'm like, all right, I guess I'll go in Mag Joe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just you do need that backbone tank that like you could play him in any type of meta. So he doesn't need to be gutted. He does need to be tuned a little bit in a way where it's like, okay, now let's make some kind of a skill gap to Magneto, because right now, as you know, as he is, he's very point click, and when you get your ult, you have to, if they have a Punisher, you're gonna dunk on the Punisher. If there's gonna be a support ult, you're gonna dunk on the support ult, and that's basically all there is to playing Magneto.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't mind having like a Reinhardt in the game, essentially. Because that's what Mag is. A lot of people will say, like, Strange is Reinhardt, but I think more realistically, like you said, old, reliable, very, very consistent. Like, you can kind of pick this guy up. He's never going to be terrible, but, like, right now, he's insanely good. I want people, the question I've always proposed to anyone, and if they can find me a clip that's not staged, that's, like, from a teammate that's not in your stack, let me know when someone has told you or told another Mag player in your game, yo, bro, we don't need Mag. We can switch off Mag. How? I don't think I hear that ever, dude. Like, maybe 1% of the time if they're running, like, Mr. Fantastic, Thing, like, all the crazy brawl heroes. But most of the time, Mag is almost always going to have use. I've never heard anybody say, yo, man, we need you to switch off Mag here.
It's quite literally the opposite. So many games I'm playing, it's like I'm on a character and they go like, hey, can we get a Mag player? Is there a Mag player? I'm like, I could play Mag, but I'm sacrificing a little bit of my fun. But I because I want to win so bad, I'll hop on Mag, bro. I'll hop on Mag.
Yeah, Mag's the go-to. I just need to rant because I'm hot. I released that video and I got a lot of people. I mean, it is what it is, right? And I don't mind that people are like flaming me or like talking about like how crazy it is, because there's other Mag players I've talked to that are in different elos that are like, yeah, I don't think he needed the double bubble. Like double. I think even Prezixo is like, I think I heard him in another podcast. He's like, yeah, double bubble is a little crazy. I think the single bubble was perfect, but also, I think if you buff every other tank to Mag's level, I think you're just feeding into the power creep. And I don't know if I'm necessarily, because like, can you imagine the kind of buffs that would need to happen to like make it so that, hey, I can pick Mag or I can pick Hulk, or I can pick Mag or I can pick Venom. Like those heroes would have to be insanely overtuned. And I'm not opposed to like buffing stuff, right? A lot of people think I am. I literally made a video before this talking about buffing stuff, but let's gotta stop somewhere, because Marvel Rivals, the way these hero-based games are, right? Valorant, Overwatch, League, whatever. The next new character they're gonna release almost always is gonna have some sort of new mechanic or some sort of spin on an already existent mechanic.
Right. I honestly, I made a video reacting to the community's hot takes on my channel, and one of the things that I put in the video was, I think someone said that they needed a bunch of characters need reworks because of the power creep, with how often they're coming out with new characters and how overtuned their kits are. I think I 100% agree with that. I mean, I made the correlation between Angela dropping as a tank, and she had a permanent fly, she had a CC ability, she has a shield, she has 2 different modes where she can go into the ground and use her axes. And then you have Hulk that dropped with the game, where he has a punch, a clap, and a bubble that lasts like a second and a half. So clearly things are being, power crept to the maximum. Especially you see it the most with Elsa Bloodstone, her dropping and basically being able to do anything she wants in the game, which is, you want to dive with Elsa Bloodstone? Sure, go ahead, dive. You can dive and get out perfectly fine. You want to brawl with Elsa Bloodstone? Absolutely, play with your tank. You want to poke, sit there and poke with Elsa Bloodstone? You can. You want to flank? You want to do anything you want with Elsa Bloodstone? She's the best character in the game. She is to the point where it's, if you don't have a Lord Elsa Bloodstone on your team, just ban her out the game, and it's just going to make the game a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, we can talk about Elsa. I mean, just in regards to like the power creep stuff. Yeah, you're right. She does everything. I mean, I talked about nerfing her already, but yeah, I think she breaks like the triangle of like balance, right? Where like you have these 3 things. You can be tanky, you can be mobile, or you can do damage, right? Like that's like the triangle that I always view characters at. And like, yeah, you can have all of them, but you can't be like amazing at any of them. Or you can have 2 of them, but really be bad at one of them, right? So like, for example, Hulk is very tanky and he's very mobile, but he doesn't really do like a ton of damage, right? Like to get his burst combos off, to get everything off, you have to be like animation canceling, all that stuff, right? Elsa, like you mentioned, super mobile, 2-second dash, has another dash on an 8-second cooldown, has a get off me tool attached to it. All right, cool. Damage, an elephant gun. I don't know if you knew this, Egylou. Elephant gun does 1.2% of your max health as damage. So that's why when I'm playing tank, I'm getting shredded by Elsa Bloodstone, because she's just unloading a 3-piece combo on me that allows her to get, 3 elephant gun shots off on me. And I'm like, why am I dying? Like the first couple days against Elsa was fine, but once the Kinbarus, the Ruiks, all these Elsa players, bro, once they started like labbing and getting Lord and stuff, I'm like, oh, I just can't play the game unless I'm like playing Mag. Crazy. Full circle moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, unless I'm playing something that has like some sort of damage reduction, like Deadpool, who has like 40% on his stuff, or I'm playing Emma, who has damage reduction, or like any sort of mitigation. I can't really play Venom into Elsa. I can't really play Hulk. I can't play a majority of the tanks in the game if Elsa's allowed, because she just does so much damage, man.
Yeah. I mean, prior to this, I had also made a video about the state of tanks in Marvel Rivals before Elsa even came out, I'm pretty sure. And I was just talking about how, like, it's terrible. It feels terrible to play tank in Marvel Rivals. You have a tank shortage, so people don't play the role as much. And then you also have these characters who are clearly tank busters. You have Iron Fist, you have Wolverine, and then they drop Elsa with percent damage, which I didn't even know prior to making my Nerf Elsa video. While I was making that video, I had discovered that she has percent damage on her elephant gun. I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, I had to like verify. I went to like 3 sources to verify if that was what I was reading was true. Or that I understood it correct. So I was like, God damn, like this feels like a slap in the face to all the tank players, where it's like, yo, when are we gonna get like some kind of percent damage reduced that's not Deadpool? You know what I'm saying? On tanks. So I honestly, the state of tanks and the drop of Elsa really felt like, damn, like this 6.5 season is going to be a rough one for all the tank players. And for me, for anyone who doesn't know, I have a 47% win rate in Celestial right now. So clearly, the tanking has taken a toll on my win rate.
Yeah, you swapped over to Duelist and you climbed, right? I think your Duelist win rate is crazy.
I deranked to from Celestial 3 to GM3, and it's like, okay, like clearly you're throwing. I'm like, no, I'm like actually trying in these games. I'm trying to play the game for my teammates. I'm calming, but I'm so limited to what I can do on tanks. So I was like, you know what? I had GM3. I was like, I'm not gonna go back to I'm not going from Celestial to Diamond. So I just locked Moon Knight. I locked Bucky, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna climb, bro. And when I get to the GM1 on my rank up, then okay, I'm gonna switch to tank and make sure like I secure this rank up. So that's what I did. But listen, it's tanks in this meta is in this current for the last 2 seasons have felt absolutely horrible.
Year to year, guys. The way to climb with tank is to swap off tank and fucking lock in.
So I basically contributed to the tank shortage, by the way. I didn't even put that together.
I mean, there's been a tank. Like, that's what people don't understand. Tank is, I think, almost always going to be the least popular role in the game, regardless of anything, right? It's only the only games where I've seen tank. Tank is super short in MMOs, like, because nobody wants to. It's not the most sexy role. It's not the most thrilling role, and that probably also feeds into why like a lot of people are like, why would you nerf the one like universal good tank in the game and blah 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 blah. And I get it. Like, I understand. I'm a tank player. Like, Mag and Strange are 2 of my most played tanks. You could argue 2 of the most honest tanks if you're the community, but like realistically, most ethical, yeah, maybe the most ethical thing tanks potentially. But yeah, like I understand it, but like that's a natural cycle of any competitive game. It's like the way I would view tanks is the way I would view smokes in Valorant. Like, nobody wanted to play smokes. I was a smoke player in Val. Like, I played Omen, I played Viper because it's not sexy. You're setting up your team for a lot of the stuff. You're doing a lot of stuff for your team. Like, you're cutting off vision, or you're cutting off your ult is like used to control space, and that's not like, you don't see that on the scoreboard. And I remember I saw in your tank video, that's another thing. Like, tank games are fucked too. Like, I'm getting plus 19 for solo tanking as Magneto, and I can't do anything about it. I'm going like 10-2. I had a solid game. I'm solo tanking. My 3 DPS are each dropping like 20 bombs on elims. Like, I don't know if the game recognizes that someone is solo tanking and will give point compensation based off of that.
Yeah.
Because like, I've never seen, it rarely happens where a solo tank is going to get MVP in a game with like 3 supports or 3 DPS. You know what I mean?
And usually the solo tank that does is probably Magneto. It's probably Magneto just to bring it all back. But yeah, I mean, that I gave a solution. I don't know if I was cooking or not, but I gave a solution to Netease. I said, let's just say there's a number of it's kind of like role queue, but it's very soft, right? It's like, okay, you want to play DPS, that's cool. You're gonna wait this much time to play DPS. That's not necessarily mean that when you get into the game, you're gonna play DPS. But if you want to play tank, you're gonna get into a game. You're gonna have to wait to get into a game. But because you waited and because you gave us your word that you're gonna play tank, we'll give you a 5% RR or whatever they call it, ELO increase for playing the tank role. Obviously, if you Q tank and you don't play tank, then you're not going to get it. But if you Q tank and you play tank and you play majority of the game on tank, you're going to get whatever. It's I said it's going to be variable. So like a lot of people will just switch over to tank because they're getting extra. So instead of getting like on a off peak hours, like you're going to get like 10% extra. But when there's more people on the roll, okay, now you get reduced. You're going to get like maybe like 5% or like no percent because there's so many people playing tank right now. I don't know. I feel like that could solve the problem, give people more incentive to play the role because, like you said, playing tank and playing smokes and playing all these utility characters in a game is the most like probably the thankless thing because most of your job is non-quantifiable. Like as a tank, you holding space, making space, creating space, holding it, not quantifiable. You bubbling your teammate and saving them before they get absolutely destroyed in their ult is non-quantifiable. You bubbling your teammate or enabling your teammate to your DPS on an off angle to create more pressure is not quantifiable. But without you there, or you put like a burger tank and they're not doing anything that you're doing, the team wouldn't function as well as if you were playing tank. So I don't know. It just people are not going to play tank because it's like you said, it's not sexy. It's a thankless job. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It's a I mean, I'm clocking into my 9 to 5 mag shift, bro. Like,
actually, that's what it feels like.
A lot of people don't know. I'm like Unk in the community. Like, they just know me as like a mag player. Like, Ruix is like, all right, Chibi, you're clocking into your mag dude. I'm like, all right, man, I'll play mag. It's fine. I look, it's crazy. I do kind of feel Prazixil on that. I think I'm one of the few people like me, Perks, Scourge. I might be the only 3 people I know that enjoy playing mag to some extent. I don't know anybody else. Maybe Coach Gap. That's about it. But I think so to the point of like the point compensation. Let's say you get more points for playing tank, right? What is stopping like DPS players from just locking tank, inflating their elo, and then going back to DPS? Like, look, I the moment you said that, I immediately thought of like, how can the system be abused? Maybe I'm fucked. Maybe I'm fucked.
No, that's a concern for sure.
I've been playing games. You know what I mean? We've both been playing games for like, how can the system be abused? Because I remember League does something now where if you're like, they have role queue though, which is the big difference. Like you queue up for a role, you get the role. If you are auto-filled, because sometimes there's not enough people to fill the role out, right? Like let's say you queue top lane for League people, for Rivals people. Let's say in this new system you wanted tank, but for whatever reason, in an alternate universe, tank is like really overfilled. There's too many tank players. So it puts you on support. Now, even though you have to play support because you can't swap in this new system, you would get, like you said, Egylou, 10% more gain, 10% more points, and you lose less, right? Because they know the system recognizes, hey, this is not your main role. This is not what you play. But like in a game where you can swap freely, I just feel like that system can be abused. You mentioned, people not being able to swap for like 10 seconds just to get the tank boost. That's fine. Game time is quantifiable. But what isn't quantifiable is if like the Celestial DPS player swaps over to tank for a couple games and he's really good. He's got good aim or whatever. And he just goes, hey, I'm going to play tank here and I'm going to boost my RR into eternity. Or I'm GM1. The strat now isn't to, like you said, play tank in GM1. It's to play DPS, your main role in GM1, but you play tank so you get the extra 10 points or 5 points, and now you're boosted into Celestial. I think there's a lot of cases where that could just get mega abused. Also, like, now what happens if you throw someone who's smurfing in there and says, hey, I'll play DPS. I'm a DPS smurf. I'm like Celestial or top 500. My friend, who is a support player, I want you to play tank. All you have to do as Magneto is get the bonus. I'll carry on DPS, and now you're Celestial. Ding, 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 ding. Like, like duo boost. Oh, if I was a single man Egylou, I would be duo boosting in that new system like crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something to think about when it comes to like implementing a system like this. Obviously, I'm not a game developer, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Like a lot of my, I'm also not like you, right? Where like I'm very analytical and very formatted. I just say, hey, this feels like ass. So how about this solution? So it's very like off the cuff and off like
100%. I don't think it's a bad idea. You do need to incentivize people to play tank. I just
that's what it is. That's where I'm coming
yeah,
from. It's like, okay, what's the incentive to play tank? Because in that tank video, I use an example of a game that we played together where I was solo tanking Groot, and I feel like if had I not been on Groot solo tanking, we wouldn't have won the game, but we won the game, and you got MVP on Jeff, and you got 23, and I got 19. I was like, okay, I mean, clearly Shibby did his thing on Jeff. Like, if you guys don't know, Shibby got like the Jeff in the bag and the Black Panther in the bag. Like, don't just look at him like a mag player. Okay, this guy's
you call me a Jeff player,
a,
bro. That's a slur, maybe in
generational
some
talent.
communities. That's a slur in some communities. Hey, but hey, the Black Panther though, the Black Panther, people don't
The
know.
back, nah. When Shitty broke out the Black Panther, I was like, What's Unc doing on here, bro? Like, what is the
Yeah,
polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? But
yeah, I had to ice my wrist after that game, bro.
but yeah, like he got more points for obviously playing support and MVPing.
And heal
But
botting,
what
like
about
straight up. Let's
yeah?
keep it a stack. I got more points for heal botting and getting a nice ult here and there. But like you said, to your point, what is my reward for solo tanking as Groot?
I got the fewest points on the team next to somebody who was on Iron Fist who got 18 because he was a Celestial in a GM lobby. So like if he had not been there, I would have gotten the lowest amount of points. And it just, like I said, feels like a slap in the face because you dedicate so much time to holding the front lines, creating space, enabling people, and all of that stuff is not quantifiable. And you get the fewest amount of points because something in the scoreboard doesn't say that you did great. So I mean, it is what it is at this point. So I hope NetEase that's on NetEase's radar and is something that they want to address going forward with how like the state of tanks, because a lot of people don't remember, or they may remember all the way back in a few seasons ago when supports are complaining about dive, and dive was so overpowered. Oh, we can't live. So okay, let's giga buff Invis, let's nerf Black Panther, let's you know give cloak her ult a little bit fast. You know what I'm saying? And they address support players not being able to handle the dive, which is way less of a problem than tank players just not being able to play tank. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Oh, don't, now they're gonna come in your comments, bro. you've you've ignited the support fan base. Yeah, it's tough. I feel like I know it's like, oh, you want to say like tank bias because we're both tank players and stuff like that. But like I genuinely a DPS player or a support player, I genuinely want you to queue tank only for one season. Don't even do a full season. Do the mid season, right? Do a half split. Go on a different account and only play tank. I dare you. I think if you forced like half the community that aren't tank players to play Vanguard for half a season, and like not just the fun one that like Deadpool now is fun. Like my love for the game low key got reignited. Or like at least for the not love for the game, but love for the role tank when Deadpool came out. And I was like,
mhm.
oh, I really like this guy. And obviously now he's getting banned because people saw how OP he was. But like those kind of tanks, I love those kind of tanks. They're super engaging. Deadpool's OP as well. I understand. Like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you he's not, but I just want people to try and play Vanguard for half a season and like even I don't care what rank you climb to. I don't care if you hit top 500. I don't care if you hit Eternity, fucking Silver. Like just play the role for half a season if you haven't. Like don't swap. Don't do any of that bullshit. Don't be like, oh, I'm not having fun on tank. Swap to your main role and start carrying. Like genuinely play a majority of your games on Vanguard and you'll understand like it's super unfulfilling at times. It's not rewarding at times. Like it sucks, man. It
Yeah, no,
sucks.
I mean, the life of a tank main in this game is just literally like you can't describe it other than doom and despair, because it's like when things are going good, they're going good. Like there's not much for you to comment on, but when things are bad, you're getting rolled, your team is beefing, you're solo tanking, your support just wait double ulted for the third time of the game. It's like, what? I can't control anything. I literally cannot control anything other than just holding the front line. And yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
hope
I
NetEase
feel
addresses this.
yeah, I feel like if I'm not hard calming, like as a tank player, I'm like there's a 20% more chance like we lose. Like I
Yeah,
don't know
no.
if I'm not like and it also stems from the fact that like you said there's less things to do as a tank, right? Like taking space, like doing that stuff. Yeah, that's a whole thing. But like if I'm not calming, if I'm not tracking ults from my team, if I'm not like sometimes micro like there are games where I won't
Yeah,
micromanage my supports and we lose and I'm like is that what I have to do? Like I have to
yeah.
micromanage what we're gonna like, hey, I gotta plan out these next 3 fights. A, because nobody else wants to do that shit. But B, because I can only do so much as a tank player. The impact is not there.
Yeah, I mean, for it being one of the most important roles in the game, um, you not having that much impact unless you're sitting there legitimately playing the game for your teammates. I said it before. I'm doing this new thing where I go live and I VOD review people. And I told people while I was VOD reviewing, I'm like, unfortunately, to get out of your rank that you're in, number one, you have to be a good player. But number two, you have to play the game from the person, like your teammates' perspective, and you have to tell them what to do. Because if you don't tell them what to do, that double support. If you're not saying, "Hey guys, please communicate what you're going to use your ults for," and if sometimes they don't communicate, I'm like, okay, save your invis for Star Lord, and then Cloak, you use yours for everything else. And it if you're not doing that in the game, you are not gonna climb. So yeah, you're unfortunately in this game you have to micromanage people. You have to tell them, hey, this is what you gotta do. Hey, can someone go contest that angle on the left side where we're just getting beamed by the
Dude.
Phoenix?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I catch I ping. I go the extra mile. I'm like, hey, there's a Phoenix up here. Can someone contest? Can a DPS or a dive tank or something? And like some people will say like, oh, but that's what you're supposed to do. Like you're good. That's a good job. You're communicating. It's like, yeah, I understand that, but bro, like I'm doing that the whole game.
I'm doing that the whole game. While you know what's funny? I just had someone ask me yesterday in a game, "Hey, what ults do they have? You're not keeping track of the ults with me?" Because I'm like, well, they use this, they use that. They're about to come up on Cloak ult, so and they definitely have Rogue ult, and they're like, oh, okay, I was just wondering. I'm like, why am I the only one keeping track of ults? It's like playing a sports. It's like playing pick up basketball with your friends, right? And nobody else on the court is keeping track of the score. It's just like, why am I the only one keeping? I have to play the game, and now I also have to think for you. I also have to tell you that it's game point. No, I sometimes just want to play the game and not have to micromanage. Sometimes I'm not locked in enough to understand, and we end up losing games because it's basically my fault because I didn't micromanage you to success. Um, which is
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
it's
Yeah,
hard, man.
that shit pisses me off. I think one of the most heated things, one of the most heated things, and this might be controversial, is when I tell someone to swap and they're like, "Why didn't you ask for this earlier?" I'm like, "I have to play the game for you now. I have to like tell you what is good." Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, man. It's
that's like,
it's
dude.
it's
When I hear
really
that,
rough.
oh, dude. When I hear that, I'm just like, all right, man. Like how much more of the mental stack do I have on top of like playing my game? I now have to like play the macro for everybody. It's tough. It's tough. And like again, some people will say that's the job of a tank. Ult tracking is actually the job of supports, by the way. In like professional play, in high elo play, supports are always calming what ults are online for the enemy team. They're tracking every single one. They're not just tracking
Mhm.
support ults, guys. They're tracking the DPS ults. They're tracking everything. They're even pre-fight planning, bro. Like if you're a support player and you're not using your mic, and I get it, you don't want to for XYZ reason. Sometimes it's really not fun because people will blame supports off rip. But like you should be calming conditions to your team because like if you think about it, if you're a support player, you're almost always playing the furthest back, so you have the widest vision of what's happening, right? You know
Yeah.
you're going to see the DPS on an off angle before the tank who's frontlining, especially if the off angle is out of their POV and stuff like that. So, a lot of different stuff around that.
There's so many times where I'm playing the game and this has turned into a rant session. There's so many times where I'm playing the game and I know I've played the game so much that I've seen almost every single scenario that's gonna happen, especially in GM. Like I am a resident GM player. Like I love it here. Um, it's my home, so like I understand how the game works at fundamentally at a GM level, and GM is a completely different rank than any other rank in the game, by the way, guys. I don't know if you guys know, but GM is it's its own little game. You know, it's a completely different game in Marvel Rivals. So I know what's gonna happen, and I'm telling my team, I'm like, yo, this is what's gonna happen. Strange is gonna come, jump through this, and ult us. Get ready for it. And we get 5-man ulted by Strange, and I'm the only one ready for the Strange ult, even though I just calmed that Strange was gonna ult. It just stuff like, oh, it's like, okay, whoever dies first needs to TP. One of my DPS dies first. Guess what? I'm dying, and I'm watching the kill cam, or I'm watching the death cam, and I'm watching my support, my DPS walk out of spawn when the point's at 98%, trotting to the point. I'm like, man, bro, like I'm trying to like win the game, but some people just don't listen. And I feel like that on top of me solo tanking just gets me like tilted like to the max.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you gotta have tough mental to play tank, bro. And that's the thing as well. And we get to kind of talk about this now. There are a lot of people that don't have tough mental. And there are a lot of people that be throwing games. A lot of people that be throwing games. And luckily, we're filming this after Netease has talked about, like, I've never, okay, addressing it once, cool. But they've like directly addressed the throwing problem on their Twitter twice now, right?
Back to back. Yeah, that was
back
crazy.
to back posts talking about it. For people that are under a rock or haven't been seeing the throwing stuff, there has been, like, in the past 3 weeks, there was a throwing website, Intlist. Egylou, you made a video on it. I talked about it. Like, almost everybody that was creating any sort of content made some sort of video on it. Update, I had talked about it earlier. I had thought that when the website went down that they got this, but it's been confirmed. Shout out Miller, by the way. If you don't know who he is, he's like the journalist for all this stuff. He confirmed that there was a cease and desist sent by Netease to the Intlist website, bro. Like, the vibe coded website, Netease saw that shit and was like, no. This is not fucking happening. You're not gonna make money throwing people. Yeah. We're gonna make money throwing people's game, not you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was crazy. I think this is funny because for people who this is their first time playing these types of like competitive games. This has been a thing for like a long time with any game that you play, but it wasn't like this, like professional, where it's like, we'll make a website, you could, put a bounty on someone's head. It was like there's these, like, I don't even know what to call them. These losers will create a Discord server and be like, okay, we need to throw this guy's game. We need to, especially in Valorant, there was like that, and on top of like win trading as well, where they just make the ranked experience really, really bad for a lot of the content creators and a lot of just normal guys that are trying to climb the ladder.
I mean, you probably seen it in your games, right? When you played Val, because you were like relatively high, like the elo you were in, streamers were always bouncing in and out, right? Were you Ascendant or Immortal or some shit? I don't know.
Yeah, I was Ascendant 3, which is really close to Immortal, and you would get people just win trading, be like, hey guys, they'll just come out and say it in the chat. He's like, hey, we're win trading. I'm win trading with the other guy. I'm just gonna go AFK for like the first like few rounds. And I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, let's just FF, bro. Let's not waste my time. Give him the win so I can get into another game. Yeah, it's just insane that, and the funny part is that you're just doing it for the love of the game. Like if you're gonna like win trade, or you're gonna put like a bounty on somebody, at least make a cool video out of it. Like make like, hey, this is how I threw Lucky Zeal's game. At least make it funny, make it cool, make some kind of content. But they were just doing it for the love of the game, and that's really psychopathic from some people.
They did it for money. They did it for some money. Some of them were doing it for as low as like
$40 though, Shibby.
$5. No, I saw one for like $5 or $10 on someone's head. I'm like, what?
Like cashing in a no damage rocket $15 boost, like a $15 bounty. Are you serious, bro? No damage rocket literally plays with like music blasted up with no mic. Why are you throwing his games? Why? For $5? These are see, now there's like a clip where someone is like, oh, how much would you sell your soul for? And then he was like, oh, for 50 million, I'll sell my soul. And then it's like the clip pans back to the guy who's like, now we know your character. So you're willing to throw a game for I don't care if someone offered me $100 on my celestial rank up to eternity to throw a game. I would not accept that, just because as a person, as the person that I am, my integrity will not allow me to throw a game for money.
$5 for no damage rockets. or 15. Hey, that's a meal, bro. That's a meal. No, I'm not justifying it. $15 is crazy. $15, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I saw some of them go really high. People could, like, I saw on that website, you could add to the pot. Like, I think Lucky Zeal had like 400 or 500. People were throwing like Jitward's games, bro. Like, what did Jitward do to you guys? But the bro just plays Spider-Man, bro. Like, let him relax.
I can understand Lucky Zeal, because I don't have any personal problems with him, but I can see how he can rub people the wrong way. So I can understand why people would be out to get him. But Jitward, like, all he does is just play Spider-Man. He just dips people on Spider-Man. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Boger, I saw Flat. Like, I remember going through that list. It was vibe coded as well. Like, for people that don't understand, it was not coded well with like traditional methods. Like AI, like heavy AI was used to code that website. Hence why they like. I heard people that put their credit card information or their PayPal information, that shit got stolen. I'm not surprised, by the way. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. But yeah, so that's the cease and desist part. What do you think? We've been in this new reporting. Apparently, this new reporting system got rolled out. I haven't had to report anyone for throwing just yet through post reporting system, like the post report system. After the new stuff came out, I've seen screenshots of people getting point compensation. Some of it was like +4. People are complaining about it's low. Like, I'm sorry, guys. You're never going to get a full refund unless there's like,
cheater.
Unless there's like a cheater. Yeah, you're never going to get a full refund, because if they start giving full refunds for people throwing or leaving games, what's going to stop someone from like, oh, okay, like they've decided, oh, we're going to lose this game. I'm with my duo, my trio, my quad. I'm just going to throw this game so we get point refunded. Nothing is going to stop that, by the way. Nothing is going to stop that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't had to use it just yet. But I did see those clips that you're talking about. I think iDrawUni put one of those clips out. So if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, it looks like it works like pretty quick. They'll just ban you. There's also a clip from Kirkcast where he let his he let his wife play his Eternity rank up. She knows nothing about the game, and he ended up getting banned for throwing.
How long? Was it 15 minutes or was it?
I don't know. I have to go back and check, but I don't remember. But he did get banned. Like, is this saying reason for you not for being banned is throwing? So it's definitely cool to see Rivals come up with a solution and address the problem head on, instead of just like, a lot of these gaming companies, and they just don't address the throwing issue. And we know in Rivals it is rampant. Like, if you took somebody's character, if you told somebody to swap because he was objectively doing ass, they're just be like, oh, I'm gonna throw your game then. I'm just gonna, like, I don't give a fuck. I smurf your peak, bro. This is my 15th account in GM. Like, it doesn't matter. So I'm glad they're just like doing that. But I would love to see people who are repeat offenders just get absolutely eviscerated from the game. Just like I want
fucking Exodia them, obliterate their ass,
obliterate their PC, and just like make sure that they never come back. I guarantee you, Rivals, you guys don't need to pander to people to play your game. You're backed by the Marvel IP. People will play your game just because there's Marvel. So let's not be so scared to just eviscerate people from the planet if they're throwing my games in GM. Especially for my, if you see a report come from me.
Oh yeah.
If you see I don't report people. Like, honestly, I don't report people if they're like a little toxic or whatever. But if you see a report come from me, you have to understand that this person was so horrible and ruined my experience so much that I don't like reporting people, because it's useless. It takes more time to go copy the code, then report, click, okay, what are they throwing for? Okay, then next menu. It's very convoluted, in my opinion, to report somebody. So if you see it coming from me, and that means I stopped my queue right after to take time to make sure that this guy is reported to the authorities so that something can happen to him. So if you see a report coming from me, just know that it's warranted, and you don't even have to really do your research. Just ban them. Just ban them. But yeah, like, I need to see like, especially with cheaters, ban their hardware. Like, just, that's what Valorant does, and it makes the game I'm not gonna say that makes the game better because Valorant is its own state of whatever right now, but you ban people and you ban their hardware, and guess what? Now I'm gonna think twice about cheating, or I'm gonna think twice about throwing for the fourth time. You know?
Yeah, League recently, I would say in the past year, because I'm still tapped in with League of Legends. Obviously, I used to be like a League caster and stuff like that. Now I do Marvel Rivals, but like they recently started hardware banning and like IP banning people that were like buying alt accounts and like buying like accounts to like troll and like that. That's how lethal. And they have like a public figurehead. If you want to laugh, if you want to like scroll for an hour and laugh, the guy's name is Drew Levin on Twitter. I would go to him and just look at his replies. Because he has the ability. Part of his job is being front facing on Twitter and like answering issues on like, and people would be like, "Hey, I don't know why they do this. They got a humiliation kink or something, bro." They will be like, "Hey, at Drew Levin, I got banned for XYZ. Like, I feel like I didn't do this. He replies, "Oh, you're saying like this wasn't you on your fourth account on this IP trolling?" If you like, I promise you, and I will put it in the video. I'll like put some of the stuff in like with what he does. But this guy cracks me up. And like, I'm not saying Marvel Rivals needs their own version of Drew Levin where he's super front facing and like, you know, answering like random, like this guy literally answers the most random people's ats. But like, it's a hot take, or like I got some flack.
I think we need to bring humiliation back into it.
Public shaming. Public
shaming. We just need to public shame anyone that's like, you're just a loser, bro. If you're throwing games because someone upset you or took your character, bro, that says more about you as a person than anything about you in the game. So
yeah. I'm again, I've seen good things about this new reporting system. It's working. I just don't know how long the bans are, because the big complaint was like the 15-minute, 2-hour bans. Like, this guy's just gonna, and I made a video on it, you made a video on it, like a lot, Nen made a video on it, like a lot of content creators came out and were like, "Yo, why is somebody that trolled 10 games in a row getting a 15-minute timeout? Why are they getting a punishment meant for like a 5-year-old, bro? Like my niece gets timeouts for more, bro. Like why is freaking this guy who spent 5-10 games jumping off the map or like trolling intentionally, very, very much going like 0-20 or 2-10 or whatever, right? Why is he only getting a 15-minute break? So I think I've seen these people. I think Snake Case recently put out a screenshot of somebody getting banned for like a pretty long time. I saw someone else get banned for like a year straight up, 4 months. So I think the next step, like you mentioned, is hardware bans. I know a lot of people are going to be like, I got flack for it when I said it myself in one of my videos. I was like, "Hey, yeah, we should be hardware banning people," because ultimately, and they're like, "Oh, a hardware ban should be saved for cheaters." I'm like, the effect is still happening, bro. If someone gets on the game, trolls for 10 games in a row, ruins, let's say 5 people, because obviously the enemy team's going to be super happy that someone's throwing. Like, it is what it is. Let's say you ruin 50 people's experience, all your teammates. The same effect is happening if you are a cheater and you cheat on one team or against the team. You're ruining another 50 to 55 people's experiences. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same effect. So why are we not giving them the same kind of punishment?
Yeah, it's for people to justify. It's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't go so hard on throwers. Listen, all I want is a healthy gaming experience. When I hop on the game, I don't want to deal with bullshit. I don't want to have I don't want to open up a daycare and deal with babies playing. We're all grown ass men playing a video game that has a literal K-pop star that when she presses Q, she dances in a circle. Like, there's like bigger fish to fry everywhere else in life. So if we could just hop on this superhero game and just, you know, shoot each other and create some cool content and have high quality games, that'd be great. I think a lot of people just let their egos get in the way and make the game experience, like, selfishly make the experience worse for everyone else that they're playing with.
Yeah, it's tough. I think this community has a lot of time to grow. I also kind of look at what some other content creators have said, or like, you know, what did like League of Legends, what did Valorant, what did Overwatch look like year one? I think they kind of had some of the same problems, right? Where like a new game, people start figuring out, people start playing, it's really fun, and then you get the trolls, then you get the inters, then like how Netease responds to this is gonna really determine whether this game is gonna last 1 more year, 2 more years, or it's gonna be like a consistent mainstay. Because right now, you've got like League, Val, you've got Overwatch in its own little pocket right now. You've got Counter-Strike that's been out for a long time. You've got like Rainbow Six. Like there's only a handful of games that really have those dedicated communities where they can just keep, keep the fun going, keep the content going. But it's hard, man. Live service games are hard, and I like how you respond to these kinds of issues is gonna really determine, what your game looks like. Because there are a lot of games that have died due to cheaters. There are a lot of games that like aren't fun anymore because of cheaters or boosters or Smurfs or whatever. Right?
Look at Rainbow Six Siege. That's like perfect example of the cheating issue got so rampant that the game dead ass just died. Even with Jinxie coming in and like reviving the game, people hopped on the game for like 6 months to a year and realized that okay, like the same issues are still persistent. We're just not gonna play this game anymore. There's just better things to play. So
yeah, there's a lot of Rainbow Six refugees in Marvel Rivals, bro. There's a lot.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about something that you brought up very briefly, where it's like, it's a Marvel game. People are backed by the Marvel IP. Like, people are going to come play this game. I have been hearing, and I made a video and I talked about it, about, hey, like, why, like, who asked for Black Cat? Who asked for White Fox? And I dare my bad. I pretty much said, like, hero popularity doesn't matter. There's a multitude of reasons why Marvel and Marvel Rivals isn't just gonna like drop popular hero after popular. They could easily go on like a 12-month run. They could drop Cyclops, they could drop Professor X, they could drop Thanos, Doctor Doom. Like, they could go crazy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Carnage. I could just list off all the heroes that people have been waiting for. You know what I mean? Colossus, all these different guys. But like, from a marketing standpoint, obviously they're not just gonna drop hero after hero after hero, but also in the grand scheme of things, here, in my opinion, hero popularity doesn't matter, and you can choose to agree or disagree with me, but I think because people, 90% of the player base, gravitate towards what's good. Like, they're not going to want to play what's bad, or they're not going to want to play something that's not good, right? And the counter argument is like, oh, of course, we want a hero that's good and popular. But I'm like, that hero is never going to be, unless your name is Magneto, unless your name is Hela, unless your name is... one of those two, your hero is not going to be good and popular for the lifetime of Marvel Rivals. Metas come and go. So, like, those fans that want Cyclops, I 100% understand what they mean, but, like, the argument that, like, nobody asked for Black Cat and White Fox doesn't make sense, because I think Black Cat is releasing first based off of the teasers that they've been talking about. If Black Cat is a meta duelist or a meta Vanguard or a meta support, whatever she ends up being, a majority of the player base, despite not asking for her, are going to go play her. Her pick rate's gonna rise, right? Same thing happened with Elsa. You could argue, Elsa's a new hero, so everybody's gonna play her. But like, okay, where's all the Iron Man players? Where's all the Hulk players? Where's all the shit? Where's all the Rogue players? Where'd they come from? Rogue was super popular. She was like a very popular hero. Where's all the Rogue players? Like, the moment Rogue dropped, everybody was like, oh, she's fun, this. Then they realized, oh, I can't really do too much with her. Like, I just get melted. Like, I'm sorry, her pick rate dropped. Like, realistically, and the point I made was, if the character releases, 90% of the fans that love that character, they will drop it the moment something else becomes better. Like, it's more important for Marvel Rivals to just drop characters with good hero designs, good kit designs, or even, it doesn't really matter, because whoever they drop, it's serving someone. It's gonna serve somebody. You know what I mean? So, like, just because Thanos isn't in yet, like, why are we? I just don't understand this, like, hate for, like, lesser known or like less popular heroes.
Yeah, I think people got to realize that we've gotten some pretty big hitters so far. I mean, for the first year of the game, we've seen my favorite Marvel hero, Daredevil, drop, and I was incredibly excited for that to come off. I had a helmet. I was ready. I was ready to one trick him, and he came out with a busted kit, quote unquote busted kit. But they came out with a busted kit, and he was in the ban phase. So I mean, we act like they haven't dropped like some really really cool heroes before, but to the point of them dropping like these lesser known heroes, there are sub communities that are excited, that get excited about their heroes, their favorite heroes that maybe you haven't heard of. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard of Elsa Bloodstone.
Majority of
but
people haven't, right? Like a
yeah,
majority of people
nobody's
didn't know
heard.
who she
Like
was.
barely anyone knows anything about Elsa Bloodstone, but she came out and people play her because her kit is busted. It's overtuned. So clearly, this whole thing was like, oh, I wish they would drop these characters that we know about. It's so damn performative because you know damn well that you would, regardless if what's her name, White Fox came out and she was a dive DPS that was insane to play, and she was better than Black Panther. She was the best character in the game. You would be playing White Fox. You would be playing her. Like there's no way around it. So the fact that people sit here and tell me, oh, we just want popular characters. Why? Like think about it critically for a second. That's something that people just don't have anymore, is the ability to think critically, right? Why would Netease come out and drop back-to-back heroes in Q1 in a random timeline in March where there's nothing happening? There's no any type of push for anything besides the new Daredevil season. Why would they come out and drop like two like big hitters? It makes no sense. You don't think for a second that maybe Doom is gonna come out when Doomsday came out? You have to look at the Fantastic Four release. The Fantastic Four movie was rolling out. Guess what? We got the Fantastic Four a few months before. All of them came out. Then when the movie dropped, they dropped what? They dropped the Fantastic Four movie skins. So they capitalize on the 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 marketing of Marvel and its popular IPs like the movies to make sure that people know that these are characters that they care about and that are also popular coming out. So I don't understand why people just don't think critically, be like, hey, we get one character every month for Rivals. We are bound. There's 10,000 Marvel characters or something like that. I don't know. There's 10,000 Marvel characters. We are bound to get some nobodies in it. And if the nobodies feel good to play, y'all are gonna play them. So let's not, because why not
Nobody's
just
OP. You're gonna play
yeah,
him.
go. All right, you love playing popular characters? Bet, go play Iron Man. See how fun you have at the game. Go have fun. Go
play Hulk.
Be Tony Stark. Go run it down on Hulk. Yeah, you want that? How about Mantis is right there. Just play Mantis. Just lock Mantis every time. She's pretty popular, right? But Deadpool, like play DPS Deadpool since you love him so much, right? But you're not gonna play DPS Deadpool because you'd rather hop on Elsa and just fry the game. You'd rather hop on Phoenix. You'd rather hop on these lesser known characters
Ella
and fry Hela, right? Hela is what? She's been in one movie and she wasn't even like, her origin story wasn't even correct. So you can't sit here and tell me that you picked up a Hela comic before. Stop that. We're not doing that. Outside of you watching,
gun to your head. Name me five Hella comics, right?
Exactly. You're dead. You're dead, bro. You can't name me, bro. You can't name me any villain, any gun to the back of your head. For a 90% of this roster, you can't name me 5 villains for at least one character that's not Spider-Man.
No, you look, and I don't want people to get this the wrong way that like we think you have to, like, to be a fan of a character, you have to read the comics and stuff like that. But I think it's just the reverse of what we've seen, where it's like nobody asked for them. I'm like, dude, like just wait, at least wait until they come out before you cast judgment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The biggest example of a popular character, of a cult-like character that a lot of people love, that nobody's playing despite him being popular, bro, Blade.
Literally.
There's 10 Blade was so bad, you got one of the known Blade players to hold a funeral for him. Like, come on. Like, you're only going to play Blade if he's going to be, like, passable, good. He doesn't have to be amazing, just, like, average. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
That's my whole thing. I'm also on the thing of, like, there have been, right now, like, you could argue two of the poster childs for Marvel Rivals were lesser-known characters. Luna Snow and Jeff the Landshark. Everybody, when people think of Marvel Rivals, they think of fucking Luna and Jeff.
Yeah.
They're making merch of Jeff. They're gonna have a plushie. $10. $10. I put 100. That shit's gonna be sold out. The Jeff plushies are gonna be sold out. You're not even able to get them.
Nobody knows these characters. Nobody knew these characters when the game first dropped. They said, "Oh, Jeff the Landshark. Who? Oh, he's from this Deadpool comic. Who? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's that? Luna Snow? What is? I look up Luna Snow. I'm like, okay, let me find out some lore. The character was made in 2018. Oh my gosh, bro! and they get played so many times in Marvel Rivals, and people love them. So I don't get the because who knows? Maybe White Fox comes out and she's a support, and she's like an iconic support, like, and people love her, and she gets good cosmetics, good skins. You know what I'm saying? Like people just gotta relax, wait for the character to come out. You already know, like, deep down, that you don't play the character for their identity, you play the character for their moveset. So let's not
Yeah.
disrupt the launch of a character just because you don't know what the character is.
Yeah, and there are going to be people out there. Well, I actually still play Black Panther. Good for you, but you're in the minority. Unfortunately, bro, like a lot of you that play that, like I have massive respect for a lot of the people that stick to their characters, even if they're bad. There is only, and a lot of people like to use this example. Oh, what about Spider-Man? Spider-Man is the most popular fucking hero in Marvel history. He's the only one that, despite his meta state, people are going to play him because he is by far the best-selling Marvel hero in existence. Marvel character,
Arguably the hero, like hero in general, between DC Rivals and everything else.
Yeah, he's top 3. He's a minimum. Like, it's when you talk about like top 3 like comic book characters, Spider-Man, it's what? Superman, Batman. Those are the 3. Those are the 3 that everybody
Batman,
talks
Superman,
about.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, like that's the 3. So like, yeah, he's the exception. Don't use him as like the norm, because Black Panther, Wolverine, Hulk, Iron Man, these guys are also very, very popular. These guys are some of the most popular characters in Marvel history. I dare you to go look at their pick rates. You could go on Marvel's Hero Hot List, which is the official data. This is the data that they publish, that Marvel collects and they publish for us. You know what Hulk's pick rate is at? 5% in quick play. I think it's lower in competitive. Do you know what Black Panther's pick rate is, bro? It's like 2%. It's like 2%.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like, there is going to be that small niche community that just, regardless, right? Shout out to you guys that play the character regardless of the state. But like, yeah, I think you put it perfectly, Egylou. You play the character for the kit. You don't play the character because you're a huge fan of it. You identify with everything about that character. That's fine. By the way, I'm not trying to shame you. It's a competitive hero shooter game. I get it. But like, don't front and don't tell me that because you don't, like you said, know the character, that now it's a bad addition. It's a bad this. Like, what happens if White Fox, like you said, amazing character, becomes in, now she gets a new fan base. Now White Fox gets comics. You know, like this is Marvel's DNA, by the way. I talked about it. They have always done this. Wolverine was not an original. He came in through Hulk's comic. Black Panther was featured in Fantastic Four comic line. Like, they've always, this is not just a Rivals thing. Marvel has been doing this since the beginning, where the way they introduce lesser known characters and the way they introduce characters that are less popular is by putting them together with popular IPs. And the thing is, Marvel makes games, they make movies, they make comics, obviously, they make like, they do everything, bro. Toys, they do everything. They're gonna find spots to put other characters that they want out there into different IPs. Rivals is one of the best ways.
10,000 characters to choose from. Rivals will never run out of characters nobody characters to put in. So, I mean, like, Marvel is genius for this, because they know that if they come out with this game, everybody's gonna, they're gonna care about it. We're gonna play the game. We love Marvel characters. Let's put all the characters that we all love into the game on launch, and then we'll start dropping these big hitters and bring people back to the game. And through that, they can also start seeding in these lesser known characters like Luna Snow, like Jeff the Landshark, to test the temperature of everyone else and be like, hey, do y'all fuck with this? All right, bet. So okay, so now we have a fan base from the game. It's like from the game. Okay, cool. Let's now put this. Let's make a Luna Snow TV show, or like let's throw Jeff the Landshark in an animated short that we're gonna make, and then make him a character or whatever. Angela, right? They bought the rights to Angela. She has her own like little comics. She wasn't originally a Marvel character, but they made her a Marvel character. And they made what do you call it? Now Angela is pretty popular, I would say. People know about her more than they've ever known about her because of, guess what? Rivals. So
yeah,
I mean, that's the Marvel identity. That's just what they're gonna do. They're bound to put in these characters that you guys deem nobodies, but at the end of the day, they gotta test to see whether this character is good. If the character that comes out in Marvel Rivals is ass and nobody cares about the character, And despite them, if by somehow the character White Fox comes out and she's good at the game, and then the community is like, yo, we don't like White Fox at all, we're not playing her no matter what, then then I get your point. But if the character comes out and she's good, and people will start caring about the game because the cosmetics are going to be cool, it's like a blank slate for them because nobody knows anything about White Fox. They have barely any source material, probably. I'm just assuming, just because I've never heard of her. Don't have any source material, so Rivals are going to take a lot of creative liberties, and then Marvel can just pull from that. So I mean, I guess my message is to everybody, just like, yo, just wait for the characters to come out, and just know that we got more nobodies on the way. Like, there's gonna be people that you've never even seen before.
We got more nobodies on the way. It's crazy. But you're right. You're right. We've got a lot more unknowns coming through. And like, obviously it's a balance, right? I understand. If you drop like 6 unknown characters back to back, people are like, what the fuck? But like,
you're gonna kill your game like that.
Yeah, we got Deadpool Elsa. Like, yeah, they're gonna drop Cyclops like eventually, bro. Like, we know he's coming. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm excited, bro. Like, there's so much cool. Like, I wasn't like a super big fan of like Strange. I barely really knew Strange like that. I saw him in the movies. I thought he was cool. And then I got into Marvel Rivals. I started like really playing. I'm like, damn, the magic, like I didn't know he could do all this stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I really only experienced him through the movies and like some of the animated shows that I watched when I was a kid. But yeah, like a lot of people grew up on the X-Men, I get it. I understand. I 100% understand where you're coming from. But like, I deemed it as like fake outrage. I was like, whatever. Yeah. Anyways.
That's basically what it is. Most of the time with Rivals is fake outrage.
That's true.
Like, most of the problems we talked about 3 months ago, if I try to bring it up to people, they'll be like, what are you talking about? That never happened. Like, no, like we were actively discussing this specific problem like 3 months ago. They'd changed nothing, but you just forgot, or something else came out that was a bigger problem. That's basically what like the whole cycle of these games are.
Pretty much. Anyways, enough about, I guess, like the unknown characters. I do want to actually, I don't know if you saw this, Marvel Rivals held like, well, not held, but they did like 2 different events recently. They did one in LA, and then they did one at the Game Developer Conference. I want to talk about some of the stuff they announced in LA. I don't know if you saw this, the Path to Doomsday stuff that they're doing.
I did see it, yeah.
Where like every other month, so after this season, or season 7, I guess, when we get into like the next season, April, every other month since then, they have like a bunch of events and they have a bunch of stuff tied to like the Avengers movies, right? There's like, with Avengers Doomsday, there's going to be 5 official Avengers movies. So that'll be the first one. There's Age of Ultron, Infinity War, Endgame, and Doomsday. And I'll have a graphic pop up here so you guys can see it. But like April is the original Avengers movie. June, they're going to have some stuff with Age of Ultron. August and October, it's going to be Infinity War and then Endgame. And then as December comes around, I'm going to assume maybe they'll start teasing stuff around November. The Doomsday stuff is coming. They already kind of teased what they're doing with April, where they have like a new game mode coming out with Loki, where like you play as Loki and there's like 6 people are like hunting you, or they're trying to win. I'm not sure. He's like mind control powers. Essentially, they're doing stuff with the original villain. We talked about this earlier with the Fantastic Four, and like I have come out and said this ever since the beginning. I think the Fantastic Four was the best marketed hero release, or like best thought out hero release that Marvel Rivals have had, because like you said, they kind of lined it up with a little bit with the movie. Came out a couple months before, when the movie dropped, they were up the skins. They gave a team up based on the movie, even though nobody uses it. That shit's hella funny. Like, you know what I mean? They did all this different stuff. So like now, and I asked for that. I was like, yo, if Marvel wants to like succeed in year 2, if Rivals wants to succeed in year 2, they've got to start lining up some of their stuff with the official Marvel timeline, because like that's where you're going to get that crossroad of like, damn, I just saw Doomsday or this, like now I can play as Doom, which I'm telling you guys right now, Doom is going to come out with around Doomsday, bro. Like that's the most obvious thing. Now, what I'm interested in is like, what are they going to do for Infinity War and Endgame, right? Like, is that a Thanos drop? Is that the Guardians of the Galaxy, all that kind of stuff? Because I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Like, obviously this is the right direction, but do you think tying themselves to just the Avengers is like a bad thing? Like, because I think there's other Marvel movies coming out in 2020. I think we have like a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, we have Spider-Man coming out. So I don't know if they're probably going to release a skit. I don't know if they're going to release any like, you know, other characters tied to that specific movie, because we don't really get a lot of villains.
Yeah, I mean, what's pretty cool is before I get into that, Spider-Man, it's I'm not trying to spoil anything, but there is rumors of certain villains in Spider-Man. So I could definitely see them releasing one of the characters that's being rumored there, alongside the drop of Spider-Man, which would be pretty cool. Be a cool addition to the game. Um, but back to what we were saying, I think this is, yes, definitely a step in the right direction. Getting people to care more about Marvel Rivals, the game, through their, movies, through the MCU, through the shows, is definitely something that is, I applaud, and I wish they did more of, back in year one. Um, like, for example, the Daredevil release. Um, I think they could have timed that up with the show coming out. Um, but
They're making
yeah, I
amends.
mean,
They're making amends now
yeah,
with
they're
the
dropping the skin. They're
skins.
dropping the skin, which is pretty cool. I can't wait for that. I'm gonna buy that tonight. But yeah, going through the timelines of like April, June, August, October. So basically every other month we're getting some type of Avengers thing is really cool, because a lot of people only know Marvel because of the Avengers. So you know, give people something to care about. It's kind of like, I'll give a good sports analogy. A lot of people will just tune into the NBA because LeBron James is playing, or like Steph Curry's playing, or Kevin Durant's playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna put those games on primetime television because that's what people care about. So yeah, Avengers, a lot of people know Marvel's through Avengers, so we're gonna give them Marvel game modes through Avengers, and you're gonna get a lot of players who don't even care about multiplayer, um, that's gonna come and try these events out. If that's what each of these are based off of, they're gonna be events. Just think about the nightmare, what they call it, the Halloween event. They literally dropped it for in October for Halloween. The game mode was such a success that they kept extending it and extending it and extending it until it was January. It's like, all right, guys, this is a Halloween game mode. Thank you so much for playing it.
They had it
I know
alongside the Christmas game mode, bro. The Jeff
Yeah.
one. They had
Jeff-
both of them going on.
they're like, we love the fact that you guys love this, but it's time to put this away. We got other stuff coming, and this is what I like to see. So I'm super excited to see what they're gonna do with a lot of these things. I don't know if they'll do Thanos Doom back to back. If they do, that would be kind of insane.
That's crazy, right? Thanos.
Yeah.
I mean, they might do Thanos August, then like what, September, October, November. Then that's like a 4-month waiting period. Yeah, if they do October Thanos into December Doom, wow, that'd be fucking wild. Or they could do like Doom January. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's gonna be here the next month. I don't know.
And I also want to do. I do want to see like more team ups between like popular characters in this media, right? Because right now a lot of the team ups feel kind of arbitrary, right? It kind of feels like, okay, we're gonna put this team up in just to make sure that these two characters work together. For example, I'm not. Yeah, so like Magic and Doctor Strange, I'm not really sure what the connection there is, canonically, but it seems like kind of arbitrary, right? Or Magic or Doctor Strange and Invis. It doesn't really seem like there's much, but I would like to see like specific team ups happen. For example, Hulk is heavily rumored to be, well, basically confirmed to be in Brand New Day, the new Spider-Man. So I'd like to see a Brand New Day team up with Hulk and Spider-Man. That would be cool. I don't know what they could do. I'm not a developer, but I got great ideas. So if they want to sign,
Hulk's gonna be swinging, bro. Hulk's gonna be swinging. Hulk gets to swing across the map like Spider-Man.
I don't know what it could be, but listen, that would be definitely something like fun. And I think Rivals prides themselves on making themselves like not taking the game too serious. Yes, we want a competitive experience, but let's be honest. If you guys really, really, really want a competitive hero shooter experience, I hope we don't get in trouble for saying this. Go play Overwatch. Overwatch is incredibly balanced and to the point where it's almost not fun. Which is why I play Rivals, because Rivals is the most fun hero shooter. So I think Rivals needs to just not take the game too serious and just continue doing what made the game fun in the first place.
I mean, Sharknado, right? It's not serious, but it's fun as shit. The thing Torch team up is not serious. Like there are stuff in the game that is like meant to be like more silly. I mean, even just the way they implemented like the fastball stuff, Gamma Gauntlets. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's strictly because like Thing and Hulk. I'm like, and obviously I talked about it in the last episode with Ned, like Rivals is the community, like they're very tapped in. You know what I mean? Like they are watching, they are listening to every single. If you look at the stickers, at least like the design team when it comes to like the emotes and the stickers and all, like all that stuff, bro, they're tapped into every meme possible.
Yeah, and I love that, bro.
Like
I love that.
Yeah, like they're tapped in. So like it's safe to say that like the balance team is listening and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm like trying to push this agenda, bro. Like Age of Ultron, we're gonna get another PvE event where we're fighting like endless Ultron drones. Like that's what I think is
that'd be cool.
Like that's got because like they also in that same event they did in LA, which is where this screenshot came from, or like announcement. They also talked about like 2026 we have big plans, right? Like new this, new PvP, new skins, new stuff. But the two things that caught me was they said new PvEs plural, and then they said new systems. And like I had theorized that new systems maybe meant like reporting systems or like the way they tally stuff up. Clearly it's a new reporting system amongst other things, but new PvEs is what got me excited because now it indicates that they're not just going to release one and keep it for like 5 months. They're going to do an Age of Ultron style stuff. Maybe they bring the Halloween event back, but in a different way. Maybe they do like Avengers. Like the thing that comes to mind is like when the Avengers, I think it was in Infinity War, where they went on that planet. They were in Wakanda and they fought like the hordes of Thanos' army, right?
Yeah.
Like I could see an event like that happening where we go to like a wasteland or something, some crazy stuff like that. Sky is the limit for them.
I feel like the release schedule definitely helps out a lot because it's every other month, meaning that April comes around, they'll release a game mode, and then you'll be able to play it for an entirety of the season. So 7 or like let's say whatever April is going to be, like 8 and 8.5, and then season 9 is a Avengers Age of Ultron, and then you play it for a 9.5. Season 10 is Infinity War. So it actually kind of lines up perfectly because I'm pretty sure Infinity War came out in their 10th anniversary for the MCU. So I think I might have just leaked something. I don't know.
Oh, not a leak, but you theorized. Not a leak, you theorized. Yeah. You did the math.
I did the math. So it's definitely we're gonna get some cool stuff out of this. I can't wait to see what we get.
Yeah, well, that was the event they did in LA. I want to talk about the one that is being done at like the Game Developer Conference, and they released like they were pretty open. Guang was at both events, so Guang did the LA one, and now he's at the Game Developer Conference. So he's in Cali, and there was some interesting stuff here. So I don't know if you saw that clip of the early build, but there was like Wanda had a power where she could like they were experimenting early on in the game where like people could lift objects and use them as throwable items.
Oh yeah, I just seen a clip on Twitter. I don't know if you've seen it. I could probably try to find it and send it to you.
Yeah.
But it was literally like Hulk going into
something, right? And he picked up.
Yeah. He picked it up and he started throwing it at people. So that was pretty cool, honestly. What struck me though, especially that Wanda gameplay, what struck me was crazy was how similar that looked to Overwatch.
Bro, it looked like I was looking at the Hollywood map, bro.
Yes. I was like this, but even like the textures and even like the font that they use is in the ult being in the middle of the screen. This dead ass looked like Overwatch. I was like, okay, so clearly they and that's cool. Like I don't mind. I don't want to make this like an Overwatch versus Rivals debate because you can have both games eat at the same time, but that's crazy how open they were, and it was like, okay, like clearly we took the basis of Overwatch and we took the good from it, and we kind of like made it our own way, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's a demo build too, right? So like they're gonna just take because for people that don't know, Netease still controls the publishing of Overwatch in China. Like Netease, newsflash, guys, Netease and Blizzard, Netease makes money. Like they have a contract together, bro. Like. It's fine, like it's okay, but yeah, it is crazy those early builds where the base build. It's really crazy, like you said, to see the evolution. Like the whole art style changed, the whole like they went. It was super realistic. The early build looked like like it looked like we were playing the MCU characters almost, and then they just went full like more comic booky, cartoony style, which I loved. But yeah, they had like a bunch of different stuff. Also, at that Game Developer Conference, Guang did a Q&A, an open Q&A, and one of the questions, you damn Marvel Rivals players, I knew there was gonna be some sweats. Somebody asked about triple strategists. They asked about triple support, and they said, "Hey, do you guys like know of this composition? Do you know it's frustrating and people are complaining?" And they answered it. They straight up answered it. I made a video just recently about it, and a lot of people are not happy about it because Guang said, "Hey, our data shows that like about 10% of the player base use this team composition. Like there's only 10% of team comps that are using this. The win rate is lower than other team compositions because like they theorize it requires like a lot of coordination and like support players are like regularly double ulting in theory and like it's all this different stuff, right? They said it hovers anywhere from like a 46 to a 48% win rate, which is like relatively low comparatively, right? And on top of all this, even though they said that it's not as popular as people believe, it's not as good as people believe, they're still going to address it within the next season. So like season 7 is what they say. I need to get it from you because if you are only paying attention to social media, if you're only paying attention to like content creators, a lot of people would have you believe triple support is in like half of their games.
Yeah. I mean, I just made a video, a short about this, a TikTok about this, where I say someone said a hot take that triple support wasn't overpowered, and I was like, yeah, it's not overpowered because most of the time we're all low elo chuds, so we're going to misplay the purpose of triple support, and a lot of the time these guys will go triple main support, which is actually a throw in my opinion, because then you're not building up your ults as quick as the other team, versus if you're going triple support with an off, like for example, like if you go cloak and dagger and then you have an Ultron or a Mantis and then you have like Invis or something like that, that's where triple support works. That's where, or like if you have a cloak and dagger, Loki, Mantis, that's where the triple support really comes out and be like, okay, this is broken, because clearly if you're on this like triple support off healer comp, yes, you're gonna fry the other team, because not only do you have the damage uptime, but you also have the constant healing from the cloak and dagger, and you have a Loki copy, which brings more value like that. So yes, I do believe him when he says that only 10% of team composition, because most of the time you don't really see triple support unless another team is already on triple support. So, and that's like, how many times do you walk out and there's a team on triple support already? I'd probably say about 10% of my games, maybe 15%. And that also brings me to another point where it's like, you guys have to understand that triple support is not the answer. It's not the key to success. It is not the secret recipe that's going to get you a free win. Most of the time, you are on triple support. You lose because you are on triple support, because that's not what you need in the current team. Just because someone else is running triple support doesn't necessarily mean that you need to run triple support. You might need something else to counteract what they're doing. So I love how someone asked that question, and basically Guang gave him an answer that people really didn't like. But it is the truth. It is the truth. So yeah.
I think people in my comments are like, he's lying. I'm like, okay, like, so then what do we believe? Like, what do we believe, bro? Because these random websites, they don't even, like, I don't know how these random websites like cache this data. Like, it's not, do they have API access? Are they only using public matches? Like, there's so many questions around some of these websites and how they tally up the data. But like, I think also you nailed it on the head, right? As someone who has like, who just recently casted a pro tournament, who has been watching pro play, Mantis, like the off supports are the key. A very popular composition that you'll see on Convergence defensive side, Loki, Adam, Mantis. I'm going to give you guys a second to think about why that's OP. Double res is fucking busted, bro. Like, it's really good. Mantis is good. And like, these pro players, they understand how to play with double off healer. They understand like how they need to position. Mantis, obviously, the people that are playing Mantis, it's not the support player that is playing, it's the DPS, typically the other DPS player, the duelist on their team, what they call them like secondary duelist, like they have a main duelist and then you have like a secondary duelist, and the secondary duelist plays all the other weird shit. They flex to Mantis, so they have the aim, so they can still make use of Mantis, like headshotting and stuff, and they're buffing up their team while the other team is like, messing around, or their supports are healing, right? Loki, typically what happens in these compositions, Loki will get his ult first, he'll copy the Atom, they'll get wiped because the enemy team has their ultimates, and then Adam just reses everybody back, and then you go again. Like, that's how it works. And you nailed it on the head, Egylou. It's not, if you run Luna, Invis, Cloak, that shit, dude, you are like, you will like,
They're throwing.
Yeah, like low key, like you're like, because they're not getting their ult fast enough. The whole point is like you're supposed to generate ults fast, and the way you do that is by running double main / one off, or you run Loki. Because if you've noticed, guys, Loki gets his ultimate faster than the main support that he's copying because of the way his healing works and the way his ult charge works and all that stuff. It's very, very different. And like you said, the answer isn't triple support because what happens a lot of the time, like you mentioned, both teams roll out on 2-2-2. And if you're getting diffed mechanically, most of the time it's mechanically, triple support isn't going to make up for the mechanical differences. If there's a Hela that's beaming you, or a Phoenix that's beaming you, a Hawkeye that's whatever, right? Triple support isn't going to stop you from getting beamed. Like it might help you survive a little longer, but if they are a mechanically sound player, if they're as good as they were when you guys were pacing 2-2-2, that's not going to stop them. You know, they're eventually going to find the picks. It's just going to take a little bit longer. And most of the time, that little bit of extra time you gained by healing or out healing the damage or whatever, it's not enough for your team to get the victory. So yeah, 10% of team compositions. I thought it would be a little bit higher. I am curious because some people brought up a good point. Like, does this count people that swap over mid map? Does this count only people that are majority on it? Like what? Like let's say you're 75% on double, and then at the end when it's overtime you swap to triple and you win. Like, does it count that? I think there's a lot of questions. I kind of wish this guy answered, like, asked up a follow up question. How is that data gathered?
I think Rivals, if I'm not mistaken, Rivals calculates data based in 10-minute increments. I think so. I'm not really too sure. Someone can definitely fact check this on me.
I know they do the point stuff where they said they'll take your average based off of like the average of what you like. I think they did it in that big video where they were like denied EOMM and stuff. They're like, hey, here's how we do point gains. We take your hero that you're playing and we average it amongst everyone else in the rank per 10 minutes or something like that. So like,
so you'd have
point
to
gains are based off of maybe that might be their barometer.
Yeah, I think you'd have to assume because you'd have to standardize it somehow because there's so much variable things that happen in the game. So like, you know, judging triple support off of what 2 minutes, you didn't really run triple support enough to really understand the full picture of it. And what people have to understand, whoever's calling Guang a liar, bro, first of all, hashtag ignite the battle. Don't ever call my boy a liar. Second of all, you'd have to understand. Yo, listen, Guang pays me good. But you'd have to the blue units, man. The blue units we get. You'd have to understand that them Marvel Rivals literally on the back end. I've never seen it, obviously, but you'd have to assume that on the back end, Marvel Rivals can see literally everything about you and what you play, how good you are, and the statistics and everything like that. They can see like way more than we're able to see, obviously. And with these Rivals meta or whatever, they can probably tell you, they can probably sort like who's actually the best Thor player or who's actually the best whatever player. They could probably release something like that, but I'm assuming they don't for a good reason. And they want to keep a lot of that data to themselves so that they can be able to make the decisions on their own without the community influencing them. Because if you drop like all the data that you have, it's like, well, the simple solution is this, but the community doesn't know how changing one thing can lead to another. So yeah,
I mean, you guys, we agree to it when you made the account, when you log into Rivals, you're doing an agreement where your data is going to be shared with Marvel, like Netease, bro, like all your everything that like, I'm not saying like they know your credit card number and all that shit, like all the crazy stuff. I mean, maybe they do if you pay with like Steam and stuff like that. Who knows? But what I'm saying is they have more hero information data than any of those websites combined that you go on, whether it's like Rivals Tracker, Rivals Leaderboard, whatever. And those are good websites. I like those websites. I use them. Everybody uses them. But like, yeah, Netease has like the ingrained data, like you said. Like they have the ability to tell you like, hey, this guy is the best performing Thor. This guy's the best performing Rocket or whatever. Like this guy was throwing, this guy wasn't. What was he doing? Like that's why they're able to roll out that updated reporting system that can like look at you based off of what you're doing. They have a way to see if you're jumping off map. They have a way to see if you're standing still for 5 minutes. Like if you go to the bathroom, they know that you're doing something else than playing the game, bro. Like they know what's happening. So
honestly, they could probably tell when you tab out. They could probably tell when you're not actively looking at the game, like on your monitor. So
I wouldn't be surprised what kind of like data they have, you know what I mean? Or like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they can tell if you're not using your ultimate or you're purposely not using an ability, like those challenges. Not that I think it's bannable at the same time. Not that I think it's bannable, but I wouldn't be surprised if they have like keystroke data or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I'm always kind of happy when they do these kinds of events. I think they said Netease themselves said they're gonna do more stuff like this. Like the LA event was a specifically Marvel Rivals one, and a couple content creator friends I know went to that event. So that was really cool, and like they said they have more interest in doing that kind of stuff. I don't know if they're only gonna do it in California. They might head
They gotta
up
bring
to
something to the East Coast, man.
yeah, they have to. I think there's the amount of like the Virginia servers are some of the most poppin' servers, but no, like Oregon is like I'm in the West Coast, bro. Or nobody plays on Oregon. Everybody's either Dallas or East Coast. I always get matches faster if I queue Dallas or East Coast. Like if I'm queuing Dallas, Oregon, bro, like I'm in like 3-minute queue times. Granted, okay, I'm like Celestial, GM1. You know what I mean? Like okay, a little bit higher rank, but like 2-3 minute queue times on double server is crazy. So yeah, I hope they bring something out to the East Coast. I hope they do something in like New York. They might do something for some of the Avengers events because a lot of the Avengers Tower, you know, in the comics and stuff like this, in New York. It's based in New York. Yeah. A lot of the most popular superheroes are based in New York.
Pretty much all of them are based in New York. There's like the West Coast Avengers, but there's like I wish they're gonna bring some kind of event to New York. I've always had this like this want for when I was like really super heavily into Valorant for them to bring an event to New York because they do it all over the globe. And I'm like, I just like this is not something I'll travel out to. But now that I'm a content creator, I would love for an event to be here in New York, close to home, so that I can pull up, get my content. I can ask Guang the questions that I've always wanted to ask him. I can interact with the community live. I can meet other creators. So I mean, they need to make something shake here.
Yeah, the LA one. I wish I could have made the LA one. I was just mega busy. They kind of announced it a little bit last minute too. Yeah. I was like, damn. But I'm hoping they you know give more notice. I think a lot of people. The LA one sold out apparently. Like there was a line outside of where they were holding it in like a little theater. So that's cool. They did all the merch reveal and all that stuff. But we're heading towards the end. It's about an hour and 27 minutes of us talking about X, Y, and Z. Egylou, do you have anything to say? Plug everything. I already said it, guys. If you enjoy my content, if you enjoy Nen's content, go watch Egylou. Egylou is going to be a consistent part of the Rivals Unmuted podcast that I want to do. It's Nen and Egylou. Unfortunately, Nen can only commit like one Friday a month. I think he said like the last Friday of the month. So my goal is to release like 2 to 3 episodes a month. And ideally, we do one episode where it's me, Egylou, and Nen all talking about stuff, so you guys can get like all of our perspectives and we can talk together. But I mean, you know, obviously show him some love. Egylou, you got anything else to say? Where's your other socials?
Yeah, man. I'm Egylou literally everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I also make React content like Shibby. It's not as analytical and you know, satisfying. It's more off the cuff and complaining a lot. A lot of people are like, you know, when are you gonna stop complaining about Rivals? Never. But I love Rivals and I want to continue making awesome content. So any type of support, I'm starting to go live more. If you want to get VOD reviewed by a Celestial tank main with a sub 50% win rate, that's also cool. You can come to pull up to my stream as well. But yeah, honestly, Shibby, this has been a wonderful conversation. I could go on and talk about Marvel Rivals for the next 10 hours. So I'm glad you gave me the platform to come on your show and, you know, be expressive and talk about the things in their community.
Yeah, I love chopping it up, and I'm super happy we can do this more frequently, man. It's fun. I'm gathering. I'm like Thanos, bro. I'm gathering all the app creators. I'm getting the Infinity Stones up here, but I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I know it was a more ranty. We talked about a bunch of stuff. I'll have timestamps going. You know, obviously. I'll have Egylou on as a collaborator. You'll see all of his stuff in the description box below. His YouTube, his Twitch, his TikTok, his Twitter, everything down there. So again, give him a follow. I would really appreciate it if you guys, you know, even comment on his videos. Tell him Shibby sent you, bro. That would mean a lot to me. I always love letting my community and giving positivity to everybody else. So I appreciate it. Egylou, thank you so much. You have a great rest of your day.
Yes, sir. You as well.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, as that all helps me out a ton. I try and respond to every single one of the comments in my videos because I genuinely do appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules to leave one, as well as I love interacting with my own community. If you want to see more of my content, I stream over on Twitch about 3 to 4 times a week, starting around 7 p.m. PST. Over there, you'll get unedited versions of my videos, as well as we go over gameplay reviews, patch notes, and you guys can ask questions in the chat, and I respond pretty quickly. If you care more for short form content, I upload daily on both YouTube Shorts and TikTok. Over there, you'll get condensed versions of my videos, as well as stream highlights and my general thoughts on the game. All of that will be in the description box below, as well as a pop-up that will show up on the right side of the screen here telling you where to go and all my handles. I really do appreciate all of you, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.